Abercanaid, Welsh, Abercanaid, is a small village in the Welsh county borough of Merthyr Tydfil, Glamorgan, Wales, United Kingdom with a population of about 5,060. It is situated 2.5 miles south of Merthyr town centre and is west of Pentrebach, across the River Taff and north of Troedyrhiw. The Taff Trail also runs through the village, adjacent to the path of the disused Glamorganshire Canal, which was an important passage for the transport of iron and coal during the industrial boom in which the valleys prospered. It forms part of 3 villages in the Plymouth Electoral Ward, along with Pentrebach and Troedyrhiw. Most of the housing estate was built in 1860 to sustain the collieries. The Wanwill Colliery was opened as a level mine in 1824 and was later renamed the Abercanaid Colliery. Gethin Colliery was located close to the canal and was sunk in 1849. There were 2 serious accidents at the colliery where 47 men and boys died on February 19, 1862. And another 34 on December 20, 1865. The village has 3 public houses, the Collier's Arms, the Richard's Arms and Llanerios Inn respectively. The Richard's Arms boast the football site for the village, whereas the Collier's Arms and Llanerios are more notable for their involvement in local aid yards. At one time, Abercanaid had a total of 7 pubs, the aforementioned 3, the Different Arms, the White Hart, the Glamorgan Arms and the Gethin Inn. The Glamorganshire Canal passed along the edge of the village. This was constructed around 1800 and fell into decline following the construction of the railways and eventually became disused. Abercanaid was one of the stations on the Quakers' Yard in Merthyr Railway. The line on the station became disused in the 1960s and now the village is served by the nearby Pentrebach train station. Chapel Street was so named because of the 3 chapels that once stood in it, the only existing one left being the Zion Chapel on the corner of Cardiff Street. Greg Chapel was demolished in the late 1990s, being replaced by houses. The local church is St. Peter and Paul. Work began on construction of a new, modern school, known as Abercanaid Community School in October 2001. The school is situated on the site of Abercanaid Park and is run by longtime head teacher Mike Sullivan. The school officially opened on January 22, 2003. The school acts as a feeder school to Afon Taff High School, Sutpharthwa High School and Bishop Headley High School. A famous ex-pupil of the school is Petula Clark, who spent some time as a child in the village living with family. She returned to Abercanaid on January 24, 2007 as part of the BBC series, Coming Home, and was greeted by the pupils including Robin Williams, who performed a selection of songs for her, including her own hit song Downtown. Another former Abercanaid pupil and resident is synth, FX, and sampler Lyndon Jones of the now disbanded band Midas Uno. The Gethin Pit, pictured on the right, was established in 1849, when sunk by William Crochet II. The pit's remains can be found 2.5 miles from Merthyr Tydfil, situated next to the Merthyr Canal. Gethin Pit was a supplier of coal for Crochet's other business ventures. 2 major mining disasters occurred at Gethin Pit, one in 1862 and another in 1865. The disasters, although seen as dangerous in the modern-day perspective, were a regular occurrence in the 19th century. At the time of the disaster, which occurred in 1862, the mine was being managed by John Moody and various others such as his son, Thomas Pearson Moody. Thomas, the fireman who ran the safety checks of the mine, reported, "All is right, but there is a little gas in John Jones' heading, number 20, about 10 yards back from the face. There had been a bit of a fall above the timbers and gas was lodged there." This disaster occurred in Pit 1 at Gethin Pit 1. One of the potential causes for the disaster was a buildup of gases, which eventually met with a naked flame. Due to the size of the pit, it was seriously lacking ventilation. Therefore, when the buildup gases hit the naked flame, it ignited the gas, causing the explosion in Pit 1. The insufficiency of the ventilation as well as the poor design of the pit, for example, with not enough air pits, as pictured below, contributed to the increased risk and probability of a gas explosion. The cause of the explosion is known as fire damp, as mentioned in the Gethin Colliery account. In the inquiries of the disasters of 1862 and 1865, there is evidence of negligence against the colliery's manager, John Moody. The inquiry into the 1862 disaster took 9 days. On both accounts, the presence of poor ventilation, fire damp, and the irresponsible use of naked flames for lighting are found as the root causes of the explosions. Detailed inquest can be found in the 1863-103 Gethin Colliery accident. Copy of report of Mr. John Kenyon Blackwell on the subject of the accident at Gethin Colliery, South Wales, in the early part of 1862. Information from eyewitnesses of the court inquiries and the disasters can be found in Cardiff and Merthyr newspapers. John Moody, after testifying, was acquitted of 2 charges, however he was found guilty of manslaughter by the jury. Later, a grand jury heard the evidence and produced the verdict of no true bill. As it stands today, there is no memorial or marker for the remains of the pit, as disasters like this were not out of the ordinary at the time period at question. This was evident due to the fact that in 1865 another disaster took place for the same reasons, and once again John Moody was again acquitted of manslaughter at the trial. Petula Clark, singer, actress, and composer. Lyndon Jones, synth, FX, and sampler of the band Midas Uno.